Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalam ashrafil mursaleen Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Madh ya Sayyidi ya Rasul Kareem ya Habib al-Azim, unzur halana wa ishhalana wa abiduna bi madadakum wa nazarakum. Madh ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya ma Shaykh Abdul Faiz al-Daghestani. Madh ya Sayyidi ya Sultan al-Awliya ma Shaykh Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani. Madh ya Sultan al-Qulubina Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Kabani. Madad al-Haq ya Hujjatullahi al-Mukhlas. A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Atiya Allah, Atiya Rasul wa ulul amri minkum. And alhamdulillah, always a reminder for myself, and abdukal ajeezu da'ifu miskeenu zalim jahal. And we exist by the grace of Allah in Allah's oceans of rahmah, and always to remind ourselves anytime we deal with ourselves or in the company of people, that to be nothing, and that Allah's mercy to dress us and bless us, and there is no title in their presence, there is nothing. And to take a life in which to efface ourselves to be nothing, alhamdulillah, then Allah's rahmah to dress upon us, inshaAllah. That in these holy months a reminder for people who are coming, that we want a life in which we are accompanying Ahlul Basira, the people whom their hearts are open. If their heart not open, then what are you going to do with them? Means if we find people in our life and accompany people whose hearts are not open, doesn't matter what their madhab or what they claim they are or who they aren't, if the heart is not open and they're 20, 30, 40 years doing what they're doing, is not going to open for you either, because whatever they did, it didn't work for them. So it means the description of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different result. So Allah's ni'mat and blessing is to guide and give us the isharats and the signs that go to those whom their hearts are open, and that they see through their heart because they've been dressed. This is a hadith in which this zawiyah and all the Ahl Haqqaiq, they live by these certain hadiths of Prophet is if you take one hadith and live it is enough. It's enough of an ocean that to be lost. Where Allah described that they finished their fard, they completed their what's wajib and what's mandatory from them, but there are servants of mine who approach me with voluntary worship. Means they come through the doors of love and muhabbat, their madhab is muhabbat, because the madhab of the sama of malakut is muhabbat. There's nothing but love in the world of light. Everything in the world of mulk becomes separate, it's the nature of mulk. Every fitna is on the mulk, shaitan is on the mulk. In malakut it's only taslim, it's only submission, and that submission is based on love and muhabbat. Means then to reach towards that reality, they're teaching us that to take that path in which you want to reach to that reality, then Allah describes those servants, I become their hearing in which they hear. Means Allah would dress the hearing, it's Hadith al-Qudsi, I dress the eyes in which they see, the breath in which they breathe, the hand in which they touch, the feet in which they move, so much so they become Rabbaniyun, and they say, kun fayakun, because their will is matching the will of Allah. They don't have a will separate from Allah. They're walking ulul am and ulul irada. They are ulul am are those whom are trying to perfect themselves with what Allah wants from atiyullah, atiya Rasul wa ulul amri minkum, means they must be under the authority of real ulul am. And that's the taqleed. For us is wajib to be under taqleed, under guidance, under ittibā', means to be under obedience, under guidance. Why? Because they want to open this hadith. We've said many times before, reminder only from myself, that the schools of tarbiyah are the schools of these holy hadiths. They want to open these hadiths because the hadiths of Prophet are real and living. It's not a story from old, but that the hadiths must be real, must be living, and there must be servants who resemble that reality. They live, they walk, they talk in that reality. So means then they come into our lives and begin to teach that from malakut, that you want to reach into the world of light, then your madhab is the madhab of muhabbat. That because Allah loves all His creation. Don't take a madhab of shaitan and hizb shaitan, means don't take a school and ideology based on hate, it's based on love. Anywhere you go where people want to divide and want to make lahnat and want to make cursing is hizb shaitan. Because shaitan is busy trying to take everybody into Jahannam, and Ahl Muhabbat are busy trying to put everybody into paradise. So whatever you think that teaching is coming, they are busy trying to take people into hell. For what? We're busy our life trying to take people back into paradise. That what Allah loves, what Prophet love, what ulul amr love is love, not romance and people touching themselves for no reason and touching other people. Is muhabbat, is a tolerance, is a patience, is all the good character. That no matter how much Allah squeezes you stay sweet, no matter how much people bother you stay sweet, no matter how much imtihan and tests come into your lives and our lives we stay sweet. If the tests change you then what was the value? If a test come and you become of a bad character, you become of an angry character, you become of a cursing character, then Allah is not in need. So then all the schools of tarbiyah are to perfect that love. So then they teach all this testing coming is a science that Allah want to open. First, I'm going to open for you your hearing. Because they want awliyaullah, 124,000 awliya on this earth. Ahlul Basira, 124,000 awliya on this earth. They are the mobile phones for the heaven. They are a mobile phone for the heaven. If you come into their presence they hear, means the malakut, they hear through the phone because who's on the other side of that phone? Whomever in malakut that Allah wants, there's a phone in that presence and there's the insan in this mulk. When insan comes to taslim and submit themselves, they're handing over everything Allah gave to them, they give it back. That's taslim. Other than taslim is a crook, because whatever Allah gave to them they stole it, they ran with it. What Allah wants in taslim, I gave you hearing, give it back to me. Samina wa ata'na ya Rabbi, I heard and I obeyed. I gave you rizq, give it back to me. I gave you sight, give it back to me. Whatever I gave you ilm, give it back to me. Means put it all back to Allah and surrender it, and nothing in Allah's way will be lost. But dunya come and make us to fear, Ya Rabbi if I put it there I'll lose it, it'll be gone. And the people of haqqaiq they realize, no, whatever you give to Allah He multiplies it. Whatever knowledge you thought you have, give it to Allah and claim yourself to be nothing. And Allah continuously bestow upon you fountains of reality. Whatever sustenance Allah gave to you, give to Allah and He make like a fountain of sustenance to flow through you. Means whatever Allah giving, Allah gave you will. Surrender your will back to Allah and Allah open the samawati wal ard to you. But shaitan come and bring fear, which is the opposite of faith. Satan comes and begins to say, no fear, whatever you do from that will be lost, it won't come back. And Iman is, no, whatever you do in Allah's way Allah will multiply it beyond imagination. So means then they come and begin to teach, you want to be a mobile phone, you want to be from the ulul am and the people of realities. Their madhab is the madhab of love, their characters of patience and tolerance. Their reality is to bring everybody back to paradise, not to make one person to run into the hands of shaitan. We went to the masjid for one of the events and a lady came to the lady side and told one of the ladies, your outfit not correct for salah, sit down, don't pray, your prayer doesn't count. Is this Hizb al-Shaitan or Hizb al-Rahman? Hizb al-Shaitan. Because you made biggest shirk with Allah because Allah says, I guide my nation, I judge my creation, not you. You haven't an eye to judge them, you haven't a heart to judge them, you don't know what their intention is, you don't know how patient I am with my servant. I'm patient with them. And son who has no good character, no perfection, no permission for guidance, tell somebody, sit down, don't pray. Well, that's what shaitan would do, is tell people, don't pray, it's not going to count. Who are you to say it's going to count or not to count? Our job is to guide people towards goodness. Pray, whatever condition you are, pray, because Allah owns your heart, not me. The owner of that heart, He will guide you. Come with love, come with muhabbat, come however you want. The one who owns your heart, He guides you. If He likes that prayer, it's but an instant, kun fayakun, and your heart can see the 7 heavens and you'll be complete in taslim. When that going to come? That's up to Allah. But they begin to teach us to have love and patience because Allah guides His creation. We are people of just muhabbat, give a fountain of muhabbat, make people feel safe and feel love, and they begin to teach. You want this reality? Samina wa atana. Open your ears, surrender these ears to these guides. Not what you hear you want to do, but what I heard of guidance, not what you heard from yourself. Oh Ya Rabbi, I heard I wanted chocolate, I'm going to go have a chocolate. I heard I want to bother people, I'm going to go tell them and bother them. The ocean of ihtibat, to open the reality, to be a mobile phone, to be from Ahlul Basira. Allah saying, then these ears you have, give it to them, surrender your hearing and enter into the ocean of what Prophet brought for his Sahabi, samina wa atana. And they perfected what they heard from Prophet in complete obedience because they surrendered their ears. Ya Rabbi, I give you my physical ears. Through your training and your practices with my physical ears, Allah opens your spiritual hearing. Because when this ears Allah described, we have a look placed upon their ears. Why shaitan has so many people with all their ears pierced? If you want to know the reality, look to shaitan, he has more advertising, but Rahman is more hidden. And now everybody has something on their ears. Men, not women, women that's a part of their fashion, but only one. Now they have like 500 on their ears. Men they have even they put like, it look like a hockey puck, this big. That shaitan is shaitan, not that person, the person is innocent, they have a soul. But shaitan showing everybody, those ears are for me. I have yoked it, I have held his ears and his ears are for me. And you see the sign everywhere that their entire being is being marked and shown that they are not for Rahman but they are for the lower desires. So then our whole life is to find a school in which I can submit my ears, not find a school in which I don't have to listen. Means to find the schools of tarbiyah, and now through even live broadcasts they're everywhere. That if you find those whom their hearts are open and they're teaching the way of muhabbat and not lahnat, they curse no one. If you know that all creation is under Nur Muhammad, there's nothing outside of Nur Muhammad. Rabb al-mu'mineen wa Rabb al-kafirin. Allah is Lord over all creation. If every light is from the light of Sayyidina Muhammad, how could you possibly curse someone? Tomorrow he may be coming into faith or she may be coming into faith. So they're understood, they have a taqwa and a fear. The Prophet has a nation that accepted his da'wah and all of creation, that if they didn't accept the da'wah they are the ummah that needs da'wah. That message has to go to them because all that creation is coming back to Prophet. So it means they have the best of character, the most of love. They're not here to judge anyone. So they begin to exhibit the characteristics of patience and tolerance and love, and they begin to teach that, listen and begin to open your ears. Watch out for what's coming into your ears of bad sound, of bad gossip, of bad talking. Means have a vigilance over your ears like fasting. As soon as you're going somewhere and somebody's talking bad, don't think something small. When somebody's talking bad it's affecting your heart. Never the person, this is not an insult for any people, but when you go and somebody's talking bad you have to visualize as if shaitan has little arrows and he is bing, bing, bing hitting into there, because the person's saying things but could be bringing doubt into your heart. And ghaibat, bringing a bad impression of somebody into your heart, means changing your character from being sweet and loving to exhibiting all these bad characteristics. So it means this way of tazkiyah is very difficult. The Ramadan is not only you eat and become hungry but your ears are fasting. Ya Rabbi, perfect my ears, let me to hear the good sounds of your holy Qur'an, of your salawats, and to attend the majlis of zikr, and to keep the company of those whom also trying to clean their ears and purify. And this lock of samina wa atana begins to open off the ears. If that lock opens off the ear, this is the bab and the door of the soul. This is the window of the soul, this is the door. If Allah releases the lock from the ear, means that a door of the soul has been now opened. That's why in the zikr and in the tafakkur, when they begin to teach you to make tafakkur, the more you sit and listen, the more you sit and listen, Allah give a permission to unlock that door. As soon as they unlock that door they can bring the soul of that person out, where they begin to feel the energy of the zikr. They feel the energy of the tafakkur, because Allah giving a permission that lower that door and this power of that soul can come out. The soul and the light is something that can't be imagined, only a small part of that has been given to insan. The greater part of the soul is always with Allah. Only a small light was given to the body. But through samina wa atana, I mean even in the salah, why you're going like that? Allahu Akbar. Because only sifat of Allahu Akbar can bring the fire of bad character and ignorance off of these locks. Because the salah is the time in which you should have been able to send your soul into Allah's presence. So by saying Allahu Akbar means that from whatever I gave you, Ana al-Akbar, I'm even greater than what you even understood of me. Only my izzah and my might can destroy what shaitan is trying to put upon your ears, and they free their soul. As soon as they say, Allahu Akbar, their soul is in that presence and to their darajat. Some their souls go to Medina, some souls go to Mecca, some souls go into the heavens, depending upon what Allah opened for the darajat of that one soul. So it means then their whole life is how to open the concept of their hearing, to hear good, to open the reality of their soul. If that begins to open, then Allah begin to focus upon their eyes, that give back your sight, give back what you're trying to see with your eyes, and take a path of tafakkur and meditation. As much as you feed these eyes, as much as the heart becomes darkened. So all day long what shaitan wants. Look at the internet, look at everything forbidden, look at every type of image. Why? Because those images are going to the heart, they're darkening the heart, they're loading the heart. So that as soon as you sit for tafakkur, it's all those images that you're trying to now get out of your mind and keep saying, Ya Rabbi astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. How you can sit for tafakkur when you're seeing all just bad in your eyes? Then they say, oh I don't want to do this, I don't want to do tafakkur. So then safeguard the sight. So Naqshbandiya is nazar bar qadam, keep your eye upon your feet, means that to safeguard your vision, that what your eyes are seeing is not for this dunya, these eyes should be for seeing the heavens. When the eyes are kept clean, this is the inheritance from this companion, karamallahu wajh. What Imam Ali is representing the purified eyes, the perfected eyes, is the master of Ahlul Basira to see all of the heavens of what Allah want to bestow upon the servant. Means then their whole path is the perfection of the eyes. Live a life in which you lower your gaze, live a life in which you perfect what you're seeing, and live a life in which you're continuously cleansing. Even those whom their eyes are taking too much in, they can meditate in water. In the shower, when they go into the shower, they're supposed to close their eyes and see their soul washing and whirling, that by the power of the water it washes away all the sins. The more that they can control that and begin to meditate and tafakkur under the water, they can even wash what these garbages and what these images are trying to put upon the soul. So I mean even through their washing, their ghusl, their wudu, everything to take away those images, they begin to safeguard their vision. When you block out that vision, Allah begin to open the vision of the heart, where you'll see with the power of your soul. You'll see the ulul amr that are in front of you. You'll see through the heavens, you'll see into the Diwan al-awliya and Allah and into the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad which goes into the Divinely Presence of Allah. Allah's Divinely Presence can only be found in the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad. There's nothing outside of the heart of Prophet. Means the whole mirage, the whole focus is towards Prophet. In the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad qalb al-mu'min baytullah. And Allah said, I'm not in the heaven, not on the earth, but I'm in the heart of my believer. Only believer for Allah is Sayyidina Muhammad. Means that reality is in the heart of Prophet. Once they begin to train, to clean the eyes, wash the eyes, lower the gaze, that, Ya Rabbi I don't want from these eyes, I want from the eye of my heart, the eye of my soul. Begin to open that reality, Ya Rabbi. By cleansing the physical, Allah begins to open the spiritual. Through the spiritual seeing and the spiritual hearing is now begins to open up the latif, the subtlety. You become subtle because now it's becoming a real haqqaiq. You're hearing the reality, you begin to hear your consciousness, you hear your soul from Allah's presence. It's getting all the advice from them and coming and begin to give you a nisa and advice that do like this, do like that, do like this, do like that. all towards goodness. When they're hearing the advice and they begin to open their seeing and see what Allah wants them to see, that hearing and seeing is opening the haqq for them. As they open the haqq for them, they become more subtle, lateef. They begin now to feel, the sense of touch and feel is opening because they're hearing, because these are going to begin to open. When they're hearing and they're seeing, they begin to feel everything. So imagine the scary version is you can't see in the room, but all of a sudden if you see something frightening in the room and it sees that you saw it, it becomes very real for you because now it'll come run after you. So it opens both sides, scary and not so scary, but with your practices and zikr and all these realities. But it means that becomes now a haqqaiq, you're hearing the reality, beginning to train your soul to see the reality. It becomes now a real reality, you're becoming subtle and the sense of touch is beginning to open. If the sense of touch, the sense of hearing and the sense of seeing is opening, then Allah give permission to begin to open the sense of smelling, where they can begin to smell the fragrances of paradise and they smell the fragrances of shayateen. They go somewhere and they can smell something's not correct because they're working through their soul. The soul is very subtle, it picks up the fragrance of people. It can pick up when somebody has a bad thought and bad intention in its heart, it's not putting out a bukhur, it's putting out a very powerful odour of dirtiness. And they can smell that and they understand what's happening. Same with the good, they can go somewhere and have a tremendous smell like a bouquet, like bukhurs. Because the ashiqeen, their hearts are in love, is like the charcoal, it's burning with love and Allah keep putting fragrances. And that reality begins to open where these fragrances are opening from malakut and from the angels. So they're becoming more and more subtle and more in that dimension, and then the highest of realities is that they are now beginning to taste the haqqaiq. They're hearing it, they're seeing it, they're experiencing with all their senses, they're smelling through the fragrance, the smell, and what they call aromatherapy is an angelic reality. That the smell and the reality of smell is from the angelic reality. For them smell is very powerful because you're now entering into the angelic reality. We said before the du'a of these ulul am and ahlul basira is not through the kalam. The kalam is the lowest level because Allah says, I'm going to seal your mouth when you come up into the heavens. Because your mouth can be professional and just keep speaking, but the mouth doesn't tell you the condition of the heart. There are some people who have very good mouth but they don't tell you the condition of the heart. But the heart in their du'a to malaika, the malaika only carry the du'a of the good fragrance. So it means as soon as they make a du'a, the heart puts out a fragrance in which the angels are attracted to that fragrance, they carry that fragrance into the heavens. Not what the servant said through their mouth, but the fragrance that being released through their heart. From that opens up then the reality of the taste in which every reality is dressing them and they become the mobile phones of the heaven, inshaAllah. We pray that in this holy month, because these are the months of haqqaiqs and realities, the month of Rajab, Shaban and the holy month of Ramadan, in which Allah dresses the whole nation with these realities. Because they entered into a state of fast, Allah gives them all the rewards of Rajab, give them all the rewards of Shaban, all to be dressed in the holy month of Ramadan. Not because they're able to achieve it, but because they entered into siyam, and Allah in siyam can give His servant whatever He wants. So the reason for the Ramadan is to be dressed by all these realities. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha.
سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي